Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing? This is Sue from Raven's Escape Crafts. If you're new here, welcome, welcome, welcome. If you're not, welcome. All right. Yeah, if you're not, welcome back. Sorry. Whew. This is Vlogmas Day 18. I know I have been terrible with Vlogmas. I'm so sorry. But whatever. Or it's just a video posted on Thursday night. Oh my God. I haven't posted all week. I'm so sorry. It has been, well, I have some stories for you, but we'll get to that later. First, we'll talk about this bucket hat. I just took pictures of it, so I have to edit those photos, and I'll be putting this Christmas bucket hat up on my Etsy store momentarily after the video's over. I'll be putting that up on Pinterest and Etsy. I think it's cute. It's actually nice and long. I mean, it looks long on when you're taking pictures of it, but it's actually really nice because it keeps the sun out of your face, and it's nice and warm. So it's a cute. If you can't see it here, I'll take it off. It's this really pretty colors in the sparkles. It has like a granny stitch top, and then the solid. So, yeah. So I did that. So that's my make. I did not. You would think I'd have a lot more done by now, but I don't. I do have another hat. I made a hat for one of my husband's coworkers who apparently needs a winter hat because he wears an ugly hat to work. So I made him, and I was told he has a very big head, but so I made him this one. I think it's a cute hat. I mean, I don't have a huge head. I don't have a tiny little head. Far from tiny, but I don't have a huge head. This thing is nice and warm. This was made with, did I put it away already? Yeah, I should have it somewhere. Maybe I did. I might have put it away. Oh, no. Right here. I made this one with the Karen spice cakes. And this is the color Cherry Sunshine. It's pretty. So, yeah. So this is for one of my husband's coworkers. Like I said, I was told he has a big head. So it's plenty loose on me. It's a nice big hat. But this thing will keep you warm because this yarn is nice and heavy. If the spice cakes, if you're looking for a nice, I think it's yeah, it's 100% acrylic. But yeah, I really like the colors are nice, and it worked up really quick. I made this morning, so into the early afternoon because I was chatting today. But yeah, so that's my makes for so far this week. I'm working. I started a couple more things. I'll show those to you as I get more done with them. But yeah, this is the hat I made for my husband's coworker. I have to wash that so we can give that to him next week. And this is the bucket hat. I really like this. This is comfy, and like I said, it really keeps the sun out of your face. Which of course in the winter, I'm like terribly snowblind. Oh my goodness, when that sun goes off the snow, oy. So this would be a nice hat for that. It's cute. It is cute, and it'll keep you nice and warm. So yeah, so those are my makes for this week so far. It's Thursday. I know I did not get near as much done as I wanted to. I have, this week has been. So, yeah, so, I have no excuse for Monday. I don't think I made a video Monday. I have no excuse. If I did I might have made a video Monday. I don't think so, though. Did I? I don't know. My goodness. Brain. Gone. So, yeah. So, and then, in other yarn news, I wanted to say, so, I was working on, I made that, I did do a video because I showed you guys the lightsaber scarf, right? I finished it. Did I show it done? I think I did. I think so. So, yeah, I might have done a video on Monday. Let me think. Okay, so, in other yarn news, Yarnspirations has a ton of, I'm going to keep the hat on because it's cute. Yarn Inspiration has a ton of like awesome sales going on right now. Let me go on there. I'm on my phone. So they have their 12, it's called 12 Days of Christmas. So they have 50% off on like a lot of different stuff. Like they have the Super Saver Jumbo. Wait, let's do this sale. This is so their day 6 just dropped. So right now, Red Heart Super Saver Jumbo Speckle is on sale for like around $6 a ball. And then the Super Saver Super Craft Kit. Oh, and I'm not sponsored or affiliated with Yarn Inspirations. This is just everybody's been talking about it. $29.99. So half of that, so it's like $15 for the Super Craft Kit, which is like all these little ones. The Karen Jumbo yarn, which is 340 grams. Let me look at, see what their specs are. Which is 544 meters or 595 yards. It's a lot. That's on sale for $7 a ball, so that's cheap too. I'm so tempted because there's colors I could really use. And then Super Saver Jumbo is on sale for, wait, let me see. I think it's, yeah, Super Saver Jumbo is on sale for like almost $5 a ball. Wait, let me look. Let me see. I have some in my cart here. Oh no, I don't. All right. I did. I know I did. All right, hold on. I thought I had. No, I don't have any in my cart. All right. So that's on sale too. And then let me go back to the thing. Sorry about this. Hold on. So the Super Saver Jumbo is on sale for like about $5 a ball. Soft Baby Steps yarn by Red Heart is on sale for about $3 a skein. The Roll With It Sparkle. I love the Roll With It Sparkle. Is on sale for like $3.50 a cake. Oh, I love that stuff. Like, look how pretty this is. Like, so can you see it? It's like this. Oh my god, I love that yarn. Ugh, I'm having a hard time not adding some of that to my cart. And then the Heige, Red Heart Heige. I know it's sort of hard to see with this light. Sorry. Maybe if I move the light. There we go. I don't know. It's still hard to see. My screen's a mess too. That's on sale for like $6 a ball. The Karen Jumbo Ombre. Oh, I love the Jumbo Ombre. That's on sale for $7 a ball. And then they have 3 latch hook kits on sale right now. So for 50% off. So that's hard too, because I've been tempted to do a latch hook kit again. I haven't done one in so long. I used to love latch hook. So that's the big sale that I've seen right now. I don't know if anybody else has big sales, but they sent me some stuff and I saw other people talking about it, and ooh, there's some good sales. I do need black yarn because I am almost out of black and white. I only have like 2 skeins of white and just little skeins of black. So you can't be without black and white, my goodness. So I might have to order some yarn. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Yeah, so I have to look at that. I'm going to look at that again tonight and see if I want to, because I think I do want to order some stuff. So there's that. That's pretty much the yarn news I have. I haven't seen too much other stuff. I know a lot of people have been doing like amigurumi kits and stuff like that. I love the look of amigurumi. I love they're cute. The plushies are so cute. It's just not my thing. Amigurumis are just not my deal. I know people have been doing the Woobles advent calendars and stuff like that, and it's just not my gig. So, all right. So if you came here for the yarn, we're done with the yarn talk. I'm going to probably work on this a little bit. I'm working on I'll show you this one. So, you know, I make these Santa elf hats. Ooh. Oh no. Hold on. I've got things tangled. Everything's tangled. So, because I have way too much yarn on my little area here right now. So I'm going to work on this hat a little bit while I talk to you guys. Because, you know, we can't work without a project. So, if you have one, grab it. If not, grab yourself some tea or some coffee or some hot chocolate. That would be good right about now. So, I can't really have it. But it sounds really good. So let's regale you with my day. My days, like I said, I think I did a video on Monday. But then Tuesday, I told you I was going, if you watched my videos, I had a podiatrist appointment. So let me go on let me tell you how my day went. All right. So, of course, I like to get to appointments on time or early. I'm one, you know, they say get there 15 minutes early. I'm trying to get there at least 15 minutes early. I like to be on time or early for most things. So, although the older I get, the more I don't want to sit around and wait for stuff. So the podiatrist that I was going to is only about 7-8 minutes from my house. It's not far. It's like 3 miles or something like that. Now it's city driving, so it's not like super fast, but it's close. So we left here. My appointment was for 8:45, or 8:30. I was supposed to be there at 8:15. Okay. So no big deal. I think it was, or 8:30, 8:45, whichever. It doesn't matter. So we left here plenty of time. We left here half an hour before my appointment. Like I said, it takes like 7 to 8 minutes usually to get there, with traffic. And that's with traffic. And we knew there would be some traffic. Well, we get less than halfway there and traffic is just standstill. Absolute. Oh, there's Sophia. Say hi, Sophia. Okay, she said no. So traffic's at a complete and utter standstill. And I'm like, you got to be kidding me. Well, here they're doing road work. They're doing some kind of work. I'm like, ugh. And it's like a super busy intersection. So I'm like, oh my God. So of course, my husband's like, should I turn around? I'm like, I probably would, but I don't know. So he's like, well, it can't take that long. Well, we're sitting there for 20 minutes. I'm like, this is ridiculous. And they're letting, like, the way we were going, they had traffic going both ways, but the cross side, they only had one lane open, so they could only let this side go and this side go. And of course, since it was pretty early in the morning, there was a lot of school buses, so they were trying to get the school buses through. We sat there forever. So on the horse, I'm like, oh my God, we're supposed to be there. My appointment starts in like 2 minutes, 3 minutes, right? Blah, blah, blah. So we finally get close to the intersection and we're like, okay, I'm going to be a minute or two late. You know, usually they say if you're 15 minutes or more late, you know. So I'm like, okay. We're like 2 minutes away. We're 2 minutes away from there. All we have to do is go up a block, turn left, go up a block, and literally turn left and we're there. Or right, and we're there. So I'm like, no problem. Well, we get there. We get past the construction and the flag people. And the next intersection is blocked off by the police. I'm like, what? Oh. I don't care what your political affiliation is. This was annoying. I remembered, oh, the vice president's coming to town. Now, I thought, because I knew where he was landing and where he was going, to speak because they announced it all over our news. If you want to get tickets, get, he's going to be at this place. And I'm like, okay, well, the path from the airport, you could get right on the highway and go out to where he was speaking. So that's not going to affect traffic in town since he doesn't need to go in town because he's speaking way out of town. And the way easiest way to get there is not through town. That's a nightmare in itself. You can hop right on the interstate or whatever, the highway, from the airport and get out there easy. So I'm like, why are the roads blocked? And I'm talking cops, sheriffs, every kind of police, state troopers. We're in Pennsylvania, so there's any kind of cop you can think of. Canine units, everything's like blocking every intersection. I'm like, oh my God, how are we going to get there? So what up? The next intersection blocked off. Next intersection, finally you could turn left. So now we had to wiggle back through town to get to my doctor's appointment. So we finally pulled up. I'm like, okay. Now it's the new doctor I had not been to, but I was referred to this doctor by, I wasn't sure who, to be honest with you. This was a whole nightmare in itself. So we pull up a little late. I'm already worked up because I don't like being late. Like, let's get out, get in there, blah, 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 blah. Luckily, you can pull right up front. There was a wheelchair ramp. Now, again, I've been talking in videos about how hard it must be for people in wheelchairs because there was a wheelchair ramp, but there's no way to get in the building, like, except these big, heavy doors. So if you're by yourself in a wheelchair, screw you. You can't get in there. And this is a hospital building, okay? This is owned by the hospital center. It's linked by a bridge to the hospital itself. So, luckily, of course, I have my aide with me. She opens the doors, we get in the building, we take the elevator up, blah, blah, blah. We find the room, we go into it. We go in. So, of course, they're like, oh, you're a new client, you have to fill out this forms on iPad, which, no problem. I knew since they're part of the hospital system, but they're not, they're affiliated with the hospital, but they're not a hospital doctor. I couldn't fill out the forms online. They have their own forms to do, like their own website, and you can't get onto their website until you're processed as a client. So I couldn't fill anything out ahead of time. So I was like, no big deal. I expected that. So I'm going through the iPad. I mean, blah, blah, blah. I'm technologically sound. Right? And my first red flag of this office should have been, so my aide was there and I was filling the stuff out on, I call it paperwork, it's on the iPad. I was filling out the stuff on the iPad, and there was a couple there too, and then a guy by himself in the waiting room with us. And so she's like, she calls my aide over and she's like, hey, the lady at the reception desk, she goes, hey, and she hands her the people's insurance card and driver's license and says, hey, can you give this to them? Oh, we're getting a visitor. Well, that's really like, hello, HIPAA. I mean, why? I mean, I know my aide is bound by HIPAA, but like, she doesn't work for your office. Why are you, and you don't know that, like, you don't know, like, she's wearing identification, obviously, and that she's with, the home care place, but like, you shouldn't be giving people's personal information to somebody else. What if she would have pocketed it? I mean, that's not good. And then the person even kind of gave her an attitude when she gave it to him. And she's like, I don't know. The lady asked me to give it to you. So I hope you're all prepared for this story, because this is not. So we go in. I'm not even working on my thing. We go into the office, and we get called back, and I had a very young nurse, like she was really young, like, and which, I mean, again, I don't care, whatever. So she starts asking me questions, and like a lot of well, oh, I forgot, I'm doing the iPad thing. Sorry, Sophia distracted me. And I get to the point where they do like family history. This was weird too. So, and I filled that out a million times, and like obviously, my dad had bladder cancer, my mom's had breast cancer, my dad had diabetes, and my mom has a few heart issues and joint problems and stuff like that. So I'm fully prepared. I know all the gambit of what to put down. My grandparents had this, my mom had that. I have the whole laundry list of medical conditions to put down. I know them by heart. Well, I get to the first thing, and I'm like, well, the first one I usually start with is diabetes, because my dad had diabetes when he was 40 up till, starting from 40. So, of course, they don't give you like a list. Usually it's like a checklist. All the other ones I've ever done, or even the paper ones, you put like, yeah, check, 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 check. Now, this was a type in. I'm like, okay. So I put diabetes. It comes with a list of like 30 different kinds of diabetes, which I didn't even know. I have no idea what they were talking about. I know type 1, type 2. That's it. I don't know. It's like diabetes mellitus with, da-da-da-da-da. What? I had no idea what you're talking about. So I picked what seemed closest. I don't know. I'm not a doctor. Don't ask me this stuff. So then I'm like, okay, second one I always put in is my mom's breast cancer, because it's, that's common, you know what I mean? And so I'm like, next, I'm like, breast cancer. Comes up with 136 options. I have no idea what kind of breast cancer she had. No clue. I don't know the name. They have all these like crazy long names, and I never knew what kind it was. And I mean, it wasn't, there was no, I was scrolling, like there was no just like general breast cancer thing. No. They wanted the long Latin, or whatever it is, name for it. And like, there wasn't even like melanoma, I know melanoma or something like that. No. We're talking like the big, long titles. I don't know idea. So I was like, well, forget this family history crap. I'm not filling this out. So we go back, and the nurse is asking me questions like, well, what happened? Why are your feet like this? And I'm like, trying to explain it to her, and she's not really listening. I could tell. I get a lot of, well, are you diabetic? Okay. So then she's like, okay, she leaves. Well, she comes back in like 10 minutes later, and she's like, oh, I'm supposed to cut your nails. And I'm like, okay. And she's like, yeah, apparently that's why you're here, so we can cut your nails. I don't understand why you're here for your nail clip. I'm like, okay. I'm like, I guess. So she's like, yeah, that's what you were referred here for, was a nail clip, right? And I'm like, okay, I don't know. And then I did remember that at one point in time, my wound care people had said they were going to refer me to a podiatrist to get my nails cut, but nobody ever gave me like any referral or like a name or anything. So I didn't know that that's what this referral, I kind of thought this was a referral from the surgeon, but apparently not. So she starts clipping my nails, and my feet are like, they hurt, okay? My feet are really, really sensitive. They are sensitive. They hurt all the time, and then when you touch them, oh my God. So she grabs my foot. Of course, they've taken all the bandages off, and, well, I forgot. First she says to me, you're going to have to take those bandages off. And I'm like, well, yeah, I figured, but she goes, well, we can't look at your feet without your bandages off. I'm like, I know that, but I wasn't going to come in without bandages on. Like, I have open wounds on my feet. I'm not going to come in without bandages. Why would I do that? Like, you don't come in without pants on. You know what I mean? Like, Like if you're going to the OB, you don't come in with no clothes on, which is where you're going to end up. I mean, come on. You know, or a lot of other doctors where you have to put a gown on. So I'm like, yeah, I know. So then she throws away my ace bandages. I didn't even tell you this part. She throws away my ace bandages. She throws away my my bandage. Well, it's obviously I knew the bandage part, but she throws away my ace bandages, and I'm like, "Are you gonna give me other ones if you're throwing those away?" And she's like, "Do you need them?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm supposed to have them on as per wound care." And she's like, "I'll see if I can find some." I'm like, "Why would you throw so many stuff away if you don't have replacement?" Okay, moving on. This is gonna get long. I'm so sorry. So then I go and I said, okay, so then she comes in to do my my nails, okay, and she grabs my foot, and I didn't scream, but I'm like, oh, ow, ow. Here, she grabs my foot with her thumb, like if this is my foot, okay, and this is like the wound on my foot, she grabs my foot with her thumb in the wound and grabs my foot with her thumb right in the wound. I'm like, oh my God, ow. She's like, what? I'm like, that really hurts. Your thumb is in my wound. She's like, oh, sorry. And then she grabbed it a different way, like really hard. And I'm like, ow. And she's like, well, your feet shouldn't hurt like this. I know. I had a serious infection in my feet. Okay. So then she's clipping my nails, and it hurt so bad because they were long and they're hard, you know what I mean, from this whole situation. They're a mess. They're an absolute gross mess. I would never show them to you because they're nasty. So she's trying to clip them. I'm in pain from it, like hurts. And then she's like, well, this hurts because they're so long. And I'm like, well, I didn't want to clip them because I didn't want to make new wounds, you know, and wound care didn't clip them. Well, wound care should have been doing something with this. I'm like, I don't know. I go to wound care. I go to the doctor. I don't know. So then she's like, and I was in tears because it hurt so bad, her clipping these nails. And she's like, wow, this shouldn't be this bad, blah, 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 right? And I'm like, okay, I don't know. So she's like, well, I'm going to say something to the doctor. I'm like, okay. So, I mean, my real hope was with all the pain I've been having in my feet, I'm looking for answers. I'm hoping that this doctor is going to give me some answers to what I want to hear. Like, I really had my hopes up that I could ask him some questions since I'm in constant pain and nobody seems to acknowledge that. I get a lot of, take some Tylenol, and that the pain that I'm in is excruciating, and it's that Tylenol doesn't do anything. So I was hoping to get some answers from this podiatrist. I really had my hopes up. And, well, so I go in and so he comes in, right? And he's like, oh, what are we doing today? And I'm like, well, you know, so I explained to him, like, I'm supposed to come here, but the surgeon wanted me to come here and to get cleared that I don't need any surgery. And he's like, so he looks at my feet and he goes, well, I hear you have a lot of pain. And I said, yeah, I do. I have a ton of pain in my feet. He's like, well, he goes, are you a smoker? And I said, yeah, I'm a smoker. Oh, that's it then. He goes, well, you screwed up your back. He goes, there's nothing wrong with your feet. You screwed up your back. I'm like, okay. He's like, yeah, this isn't foot pain. This is back pain. He's like, you screwed up your back from smoking. That's all there is to it. So there's nothing you can do. You're going to be crippled for the rest of your life. I'm like, what? He's like, yeah, this isn't going to get any better. He goes, look at, you have no circulation in your feet. Your feet are cold. I said, yeah, my feet are cold. It's 17 degrees outside, and I have open-toed medical shoes on. Of course my feet are cold. What do you expect? Well, they should be warm by now. I said, it's 17 degrees outside. You know, sorry, but, you know, they did not get warm that quick. I've only been in here like, so he's like, well, you obviously have terrible circulation in your feet. And that's because you have unchecked diabetes and smoking. And I'm like, wait, my diabetes. He goes, well, what's your A1C? I said 6.3. And he goes, I went, 6.3. He goes, 8 point something. I said, no, it was 8.1 when I was in the hospital, but that was when I had that infection for all that time. But my last A1C was 6.3. He goes, yeah, sure it was, lady. He goes, what was your blood sugar this morning? I said, it was 119. He goes, oh, you mean 319, 419? I'm like, no, it was 119. And he's like, oh, sure, lady. And then he goes, well, and I said, well, I had a vascular study on my feet when I was in the hospital. And they said that my circulation was fine. He goes, oh, sure. Sure. He goes, well, they just do it around your ankle. They don't do it around your foot. I said, no, they did it around my toes, which hurt. I remember because it hurt. I was screaming, cursing, and everything. It hurt so bad. I thought I was going to pass out. Oh, did they really? Well, I don't believe you. Like, I can show you my test results on my chart. Like, this guy was so nasty. He goes, well, I don't even know why you're here. There's nothing I can do for you. He goes, your feet, there's nothing wrong with your feet. I'm like, okay. All right, well, I had to come here. Okay. And he's like, so he never even touched he never touched my feet. The only thing he did was took the Dremel and like shaved down a couple of the toenails that she butchered up. They're still they're terrible. The way she cut them, oh my God. I could have done better with a freaking hacksaw, I swear to God. And I was like, so now I'm like all upset, right? And I'm like, this is ridiculous. Like, I can't believe that he just like talks to me like that, you know? And nobody's ever discussed my back with me before, which I've suspected it's my back causing some of the issues because from waitressing for 20 some years, leaning over tables, being a 6 foot tall woman, that messed up my back. It always has, you know. And then on top of that, having a 9 pound 8 ounce baby and 11-pound baby. Let me tell you, that messed my back up something terrible too. And I don't know if there's something else. I don't know. I mean, and I know my dad always had back problems. I mean, and nobody's checked my back. I've had no x-rays on my back. I've had nothing checking my back. So, like, just to say, like, I was upset. I was in tears. You know what I mean? So I'm trying not to cry, right? We're getting ready to leave, and I'm trying not to cry. And I'm like, wait, did he sign off on this? Because he left then. He just walked out of the room. And I'm like, did he say he signed off on the surgery? And my aide's like, no, he didn't. So we got up to the front desk, and they're like, they want to see you back here in 9 weeks, which I'm thinking, I'm making this appointment and canceling it as soon as I freaking get home, because there's no way I'm coming back to this office ever again in my life. So we go, I say to the receptionist, like, did he give you any paperwork for my surgeon? And she's like, no, what are you talking about? And the nurse walked up then, and I said, hey, did he, oh my God, I completely forgot about the other part. Oh my God, pause button. So when it was time for me to, like, when he was getting ready to leave, the nurse says to him, oh, do you want me to bandage her up? And he goes, just put a Band-Aid on it. A Band-Aid? Like, the top of my foot used to have a wound like this on it, okay? That was like this deep. Now, it's this big now, okay? The wound, and this wide. But the rest of that skin is freshly healed skin. It's still that red baby skin. Yeah. So, putting a Band-Aid on it? Like with the sticky adhesive on baby fresh skin? Who does that? So I'm like, I don't really want a Band-Aid. She goes, well, that's what he said. So she gets one of those big, like, knee Band-Aids and slaps that on my foot. I'm like, well, as soon as I get home, this better come off, and it better not create another wound. I swear to God. And then she brings, like, she's like, I said, what about the ace bandages? She goes, do you really need those? I'm like, yeah, and you threw mine away. If you hadn't thrown mine away, I would have put them back on, but you threw mine out. And she's like, fine, I'll see what I can find. Oh, okay. So we'll pause there. So then we go back to, I said to the nurse about, like, did he say that I can get like, that I don't need surgery, that the surgeon can do the surgery? And she's like, I don't know. You're going to have to talk to the doctor. So we have to wheel back into the office. And he's like, what? And I'm like, are you signing off on my surgery or not? He goes, that's not my job. He goes, that's your, you need to go see your GP. I said, I already have appointments with the GP. I know that. What I'm saying is I need from the surgeon, because he wanted me to see her and you. I need to get signed off by a podiatrist. And he's like, well, that's stupid. Well, I don't even know why you were in here. And I'm like, I was referred by wound care. I was sent here by the surgeon. I'm just doing what they told me. I don't know why you're yelling at me. I'm just trying to do what these doctors are telling me. I'm not a doctor. I'm just a patient. So unprofessional. Oh my God. And he's like, well, I don't know why it would matter. And I'm like, look, I just need you to put a note in the computer saying that I can have surgery and I don't need foot surgery. He's like, oh, was this stupid? I'm like, I agree. I just want to leave. So just write the damn thing down. So, of course, I was in tears. I mean, the last thing in the world, after all the pain and suffering and everything I've been through, and I have been what I consider strong through all this, walking with a walker, taking wheelchair places, trying to get through constant pain every day, which I deal with, okay? I have Advil and Tylenol. That's how I deal with the pain. I don't take any kind of, and then he even said to me at one point, if you're just looking for drugs. I forgot about that part. He actually acted like I was a drug seeker. The only time I've ever taken a narcotic in my life was when I was in the hospital. And that was once a day when they changed my bandages. And I could have it every 4 hours. Does that sound like a drug seeker? I've never been on it before. I've been prescribed narcotics, and I've thrown them in the garbage. Well, I flushed them down the toilet. I've never taken them because I don't want to. That pissed me off too. So I was upset. I went home. I cried. The last thing in the world I needed to hear was that this is permanent and I will never walk again. That was really the last thing I needed to hear. You know, with no context. You know what I'm saying? There was no context to this. Sorry, my hair just went flying. I was so upset. I came home. I cried. I was upset. I was super upset Tuesday. I was, ugh. And then, of course, I had the kids' concert. If you watched my other video, I had the kids' concert on Tuesday night. So I let myself be upset till lunchtime. And then I'm like, I need to get myself, I want to have fun tonight. I want to have fun and go to the kids' concert. I need to let myself be upset when I'm upset. Because if I don't process it, I will eat away at me. So I let myself, have a good cry. And then I'm like, all right, I'm going to get myself together. I'm going to try to have a good night tonight. So, all right. So you ready for the story about the Christmas concert? Oh my God. This is, like I said, this is going to be a long video. All right, hold on. Let me see. It's been. Okay, so we go to the concert. So I'm like, excited. We're going to go to this concert. My husband kept saying, are you sure you can get in the building? Because it's all steps out front. I'm like, there has to be a way for people to get in with a wheelchair. It's a school. It's got to be ADA compliant. It has to be. So he had asked the kids, like, go out, like, ask your band director, ask the teachers or something how you can get in with a wheelchair. Well, they wouldn't do that. I said, look, we'll just go up out front and say, like, hey, how do I get in? He's like, are you sure? I'm like, they have to be able to get people in with a wheelchair. They have to. In fact, I know a girl that goes there is in a wheelchair. She's been in a wheelchair since she was in elementary school. Like, and I know she's not out of the wheelchair because she has severe health problems that she's going to be in a wheelchair her entire life. So I know there's ways to get people in with a wheelchair. So we get up to the building, and of course, my husband walks up the steps to the security guard, and he's like, "Oh, we can't get her in this building. I don't know. I can't get her in." Now, this is after we went 2.5 blocks we parked away because they were having a swim meet and a basketball game and a concert the same night. And their school's in town. There's no parking lot. Well, there is, but it's only a tiny little thing. So, and I knew the gate was closed, so you can't go in that way. So he goes up to the security guard. He's like, "No, I'm sorry. There's no way to get her in." And he's like, "There has to be a way." There's no way to get wheelchairs in this building. And he's like, "There has to be a way. I've been here since whatever, April or whatever, or September, and I haven't ever seen a wheelchair come in this building." Well, I know, like I said, I know a girl that is in a wheelchair and she goes in this building. So he's like, "Nope, sorry, I don't know what you want me to do about it, blah, blah, blah." So I'm like, you got to be kidding me right now. We went all this way on these icy sidewalks. I risked life and limb to try to get to this concert. I'm getting in this concert. I don't care if I have to crawl up these damn steps. I'm getting in this building. Well, so of course I just sort of sat there looking sort of pathetic, and luckily, this lady comes over to me. She's like, "Oh, are they getting you in?" And I said, "No, the security guard's telling my husband that I can't get in the building and I can't come in." And she's like, "What? No, you can go around back." And I'm like, I figured there had to be a way to get people in. And she's like, "Yeah, of course, you know." But here she's like the assistant to the principal. She works at the downtown thing. So she's like, "Well, I'll get you in." So she makes a phone call, and we get, now we had to walk all the way around this big high school. We had to walk all the way around the building, down this harrowing hill. It was not fun. But we went in the back door, and then we had to go across the building, and then there was an elevator to take us up to where the auditorium is. So she was very nice, and she helped us out. I was so appreciative. I thanked her about 1,000,000 times. And so she got us in, and we made it there just like 5 minutes. I mean, it was like 5 minutes after the show started, but we got in. So that's all that mattered. And my kids hadn't even started playing yet, so that was fine. So we got in there, and we got settled. I found a place to park, and in fact, the worst part is they had wheelchair spots in the auditorium. So, you know, yeah, you can't get a wheelchair there. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, so we got in there parked, and we got to watch the show, and that was really cool. But I was like, of course this day was not going well for me. Between the traffic, trying to get to the thing, the podiatrist appointment, blah, blah, blah. So we watched the show. The show was amazing. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you, they played some really cool, the orchestra played, the band did not, because the band is still doing marching band, so they don't do any songs, but the orchestra did, which one plays cello, one plays upright bass. They did some really cool songs like Sleigh Ride and different Christmas songs, and then the jazz band played, which was, oh my god, amazing, which my older son, he plays electric bass guitar in that. They were really good. Oh my goodness. So good. And then they came out, they had the dance group did a dance, and then they had the chorale, which is like a small choral group that like hand-picked kids, obviously you could tell, who sang, they sang one or two songs, and then they had the full choir sing a song, And then they closed the curtains again, and then they had the dance girls, I think it was again. Yeah, yeah. They did another song. They did like a hip hop Busta Rhymes song. Oh my god, I was loving it. A Christmas Busta song. I love Busta Rhymes. It does so many. I love, obsessed with Busta. So they did that. They were really good. And then they actually invited the one of the middle schools from our thing to come over, and they did a song from Frozen. That was really cool. And then they have a tradition of every year they have one senior sing "Oh Holy Night." Oh my god. When I tell you I cried, oh my god, the tears. She sang, and then they had the alumni come up. Any alumni choir people or from the choir alumni came up and they sang with, and she did it, but she did the solo parts. Oh my goodness. Let me tell you, it was so beautiful. Like goosebumps everywhere, tears streaming down my face. It was so gorgeous. That song just, right in the heart. And, she sang so beautifully. I can't, I'm like getting all choked up just thinking about it. She had the most gorgeous heavenly voice and sang that song. And with, like I said, with the alumni, it was a really cool. It was really cool. And then they did, I think, another. I don't remember if they did another song or dance or something. I forget. And then at the end, they had the orchestra back and with the choir, and they did "Joy to the World." And again, oh my God, it was so beautiful. And the band director did a beautiful speech thanking everybody, including the parents. He got all choked up, and then of course I got choked up, thanking all the kids, the parents, the alumni, his wife and kids, for putting up with all the extra time he's gone from them to do these rehearsals. And it was, oh my God, it was so good. And then the choir director was hilarious. I mean, he was just so funny. He reminded me so much of Howard from Only Murders in the Building. If you watch that show, oh my goodness. If you haven't watched that show, shame on you. It's hilarious. But he reminded me so much of Harold. I think Harold or Howard. Harold. I think it's Harold from that show. Oh my, he was so funny. Like at one point they closed the curtains, and when they opened it again, the kids from the middle school were there, and he's like, if you notice there's more kids, it's because I'm a magician. And then he's like, no, I'm not. I don't know why I said that. And then at one point he's like, Mr. Moser, who's the band director, he's, he gave a thanks. And, he's like, I think he said everything that needed to get said, so I'm just going to say ditto, He was so funny and so good. And it was just a really cool night. So, of course, when we're leaving, they had told us, like, go get the car. You can pull it right up to where the ramps are in the back. The guy from, because I told you the gate was closed, but the guy from facilities was sitting there in the van with the clicker. And he's like, just pull your car up and I'll let you in. Don't try to walk down these sidewalks again. So when the show was over, Todd, my husband, went to go get the car. And I said, well, I'll stay here and wait for the kids. And then when the kids come out, we'll find somebody and I'll get back downstairs. So as soon as the show was over, as soon as he walked away, the assistant principal came over. She's like, hey, are you ready to go down? I said, well, I need to wait for the kids and then we'll go down. Because if I leave the kids here, they'll never find us. So she's like, oh, okay, no big deal. So we're waiting. We finally got, and it was so funny because I'm sitting there chatting with the assistant principal. She was telling me about her kid, her daughter, and her nephew and stuff like that, and her plans for a break. And so we were just sitting chatting, and here comes Michael, like, and he comes walking around because I was all the way in the back of the auditorium, and he's like, and then he sees the assistant principal. He's like, ooh, and he walks around her to the other side of me, like, hi, Mommy. And I'm like, I'm just sitting here talking to your assistant principal. And he's like, about. I'm like, ugh. So, and then of course, Logan had 2 instruments to put away, his upright and his bass guitar and the amplifier. So he came out later, and he comes, of course, like running down, yay! And then he sees her, and he's like, oh, and walks her. So I'm like, well, we're gonna go take the elevator. Daddy's gonna meet us out back. So, we go rolling down the hall. We got to the elevator, and she puts us in the elevator, and she's like, it's a tiny elevator. I mean, tiny elevator. Like, I barely fit in there with a wheelchair. So she's like, well, here's what I'm going to do. You 3 go in the elevator, and I'll meet you downstairs. I'm like, okay, because she had to let us out the back door. And you can only use the elevator with a card, which is why we needed her there. So she scans her card. We get in the elevator, and Michael pushes 1, and the doors close and open. We're still on the same floor. And I'm like, oh, no, I think you need to hit ground. So the doors close again. He hits G. You can feel the elevator start to go down. All of a sudden, the elevator goes boom, like real hard, like shakes, and all the lights go out. And all I hear is Logan go, oh, shoot. So, of course, I'm like, you know what? All that went through my head was, of course, we're going to get stuck in the elevator today. This day is just, of course. So, of course, I'm reaching in. I wear a crossbody bag when I'm in the wheelchair because purses get stuck in, everything gets stuck in wheelchair wheels. Everything. So, I wear this, like, crossbody bag. So, I go to reach in my thing to grab my phone out so I can turn the light on because I'm like, there has to be an emergency button on this elevator. And just like that, the lights come back on. And the doors open back up. And we're still on the first floor. I'm like, we'll hit G again. And Logan's like, oh, no, if I want to. I'm like, look, I got to go down this elevator or I'm stuck. So he's like, okay. So he hits G and we go down. And of course she's like, oh, that was a long elevator ride. I'm like, well, we thought we were stuck at one point. And she's like, oh. She's like, I don't ride the elevator. I'm like, yeah. So then it was everything else after that worked out okay. We ended up going out, finding my husband, and we got out of there and stopped to get dinner because it was like 8:30 at night and we still hadn't eaten. So we stopped and got something to eat and then went home. But it was, it all turned out okay. But boy, it was a day. I was exhausted. So yesterday, that's why I didn't make a video, because yesterday I was just like my aide came in the morning and I'm like, look, I need to chill today. Yesterday was way too much. I was still upset from that stupid podiatrist and his, oh my God. I'm still so mad about that. I am still I cannot believe the way he talked to me, the way he acted. I mean, and you could all say whatever in the comments. I am not going back to him. I have canceled the appointment already for 9 weeks. I will figure something out with my toenails. I think with everything else going on, that's just not a major concern at this point. I'll get them handled somehow, somewhere. Or I'll find another podiatrist to do it for me. So, I'm not all that concerned. I am certainly never going back to that office. And I already talked to my, oh my God, last thing, I swear to God, I'm going to go because it's almost an hour now. Last thing, I completely forgot. So remember how I told you last time I went to my GP that she surprised me with a surprise pap smear? And then she was like, don't worry, because once we do this, you don't have to go back for 5 years. Yeah, well, she didn't do it right. So they didn't get enough cells, so now I have to get it done again. It didn't come back. I thought she was going to tell me that it came back, because I've had them come back that there's something wrong before a couple times. I'm just prone to it. It's never been an issue. Like once they did a biopsy test and they found out there was nothing, but yeah. So I just assumed she was going to tell me that because I've had that before. I was like, oh, okay. No, she's like, oh no, they said that there wasn't enough sales. And she's like, I don't know why. And then she goes, well, that was the first time I've done one since medical school. So, I mean, maybe I just didn't do it right. She's like, I could try again. I'm like, how about we don't? How about we don't? Okay, well, she's like, or I could send you to an OBGYN. I'm like, yeah, how about we let them do it? Because I'm not going a third time. Now, I'm not doing this 3 times in just like a couple months. So, we'll just go see somebody who knows how to do one proper. So yeah, so we made that appointment, but that's not till March because they couldn't schedule it before. They said they were at least 6 to 8 weeks out. So I'm like, well, then you're going to have to wait longer because I have this surgery at the end of January. And I don't want to be trying to, put my feet in the airs, scooch down. I just had surgery. So, which I thought was hilarious too, because I'm the kind of person, I don't care talking about that kind of stuff. And I feel like it's medical. So that's what they do. And what I thought was hilarious was the lady who's calling me to make an appointment for gynecology. And I said, oh, I want to make sure I can, stick those feet up in the air and scooch my butt down. And she was like, okay. I'm like, that's what happens there. You don't know that? Like, that's what they do. She did not appreciate my bluntness. And it's not like I said anything, whatever. That's fine. Not everybody gets me. They don't have to. So I appreciate y'all listening. I apologize I went on a bit of a rant. I hope you like my new hat. I hope I made you laugh at least a little bit because, oh my goodness, that day was a day. And the funny thing was, too, I was just watching Mama Michaela's video from the same day last night and this morning. And she had a day, too. I'm like, maybe it was just that day because my husband had a day at work. I had this day with things. It was just a day. I had to recover yesterday. And today my feet have been bothering me, so it took me till this evening to make a video. But yeah, so thank y'all for listening. Thank you for joining me for Vlogmas. I hope you are doing something that makes you happy. I am working on my hats, and I'm going to watch a little TV, and hopefully soon Todd will be up from doing his podcast, and then we can hang out and watch a little television and have a little snack before bedtime, and I can chill out and get some good rest tonight. So I slept pretty good last night. I did not the 2 nights, the night before or Tuesday night. So, yeah, I'm still recovering from that. And of course, both the kids have the plague now, so, which I think is just a head cold, but trying to get enough rest so even if I do get it, I don't get it bad. So I'm taking extra vitamin C, making sure I'm vitamin C, all my, some zinc and some elderberries and stuff, and some pomegranate stuff because that always seems to help. So we're working on it. So thank you all for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. I hope you do something that makes you smile today or tonight or tomorrow morning, whenever you're watching this. I love each and every one of you, and choose love every day. Bye.